Hey everyone, alright, this is the 24th hour video. There's still about like 10 minutes I say left of
20 minutes,
today.
I didn't know,
22nd
22nd of September.
I chose today to make a day to challenge myself. It was way harder than I anticipated. I cannot, at least not with the resources that I have, which is this iPhone. I cannot shoot, edit, and upload one video per hour. It's not possible. I have to see if maybe there's an option in YouTube where I can upload videos directly from
iMovie, which is where I add these changes,
edit
and
them
it is
from.
not
As
possible.
of right now, I have to talk quietly when I go by the window because that's the room where the princess sleeps. That's her room, and this is my work area. This is my tripod. That's how I do the scores for the videos I've been making lately. Have the sounds that you hear? That's how I put this. I use that to play the music, and then I have to keep track now because it's so difficult because the way the videos are shown in the gallery and the way they are shown in the
iMovie.
in the app to edit is differently. So I'm gonna have to start writing it down, and so I can know which videos go in which order. It changes the orders when I go into the app. I did quite a bit today, thank goodness. It was an eventful day. I did suffer a little bit, but it's like that one guy summoned someone to give him an expression to say. I believe it was a royalty. They wanted like a type of a psalm or something for them to so they can to help them like cope, and that's where they came up with the quote, this too shall pass. So this too shall pass, and so that passed and it's done with. I'm still upset and hurt, but right after the incident I tried to act kindly, even though I still feel upset. I just didn't want to say anything because, hold on 1 second, I gotta put the lights back and see. If you saw the video I made it earlier, I don't know if I put it up yet. I had to fix these. I had to put that one back up. That one's just laying against the fence. And then I have two over here that are held by elastic bands. Look how many different we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different and I think there's a little one down there. That one's just standing up now, so those the other ones are up. So that would make 8. Wow. Lucky. Here in Shenzhen, we consider that 8 is a lucky number. Here's this was just 2. These are plants also, by the way. These aren't trees. They're all cassava plants. They grow anywhere near the equator, that kind of region. And yeah. So the purpose of today was to raise awareness that I've been very active on Patreon. I've also been very active since mama told me, son, don't worry about applying at a place that's close by. Apply anywhere and I will take you and bring you home from work. As soon as she said that, I'm like, are you sure? And she said yeah. So I went off to the races. I started applying, and I didn't think I was gonna have any success or luck at all. Because at first I got like rejected like at least 3-4 times, and now I have 2 emails of that they want me to set up times for interviews. One is a car rental company. It would be for a lot attendant. The interview takes place in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm not really in Shenzhen. I'm not that smart. If I knew IT and I knew Mandarin, I'd be in Shenzhen. But I don't. Actually, I'd rather be in Hong Kong. I wouldn't want to live anywhere near where CCP is in charge. I'm sorry. I mean, that might be propaganda that's gone to my head. That's got me programmed to think that way. I'm sure their quality of life is great. But it's probably just no different than it is here. Here we have police brutality. We have racism. I mean, over there they have racism as well too. Racism is just global. Oh my goodness, look, that was a root from the big aguacate tree. El árbol de aguacate. Vamos a ver si podemos, let's see if we can see one avocado. I think we plucked out about all of them. It gave another good yield. I don't know if it was as good as last year, but because last year we were more like observant of all the ones, and we brought down each one, made sure we gave it away to somebody. This year, King and Queen, they haven't been around too much. It makes me a little sad. So a lot of the avocados, aguacate maduro, el aguacate, a lot of the avocados, they just fell to the floor and the animals eat it. Aguacate maduro, el aguacate, el aguacate. Maybe I should do that. Here in the suburbs, it'd be a lot of walking, and the houses are pretty sealed, like noise proof, because people who I'm pretty sure a vast majority of the demographic has switched to hurricane proof windows, if not for insurance purposes, just for the purposes of having the convenience of not having to put up shutters, which that gives people temporary employment. Trust me, I've had my share, and also after hurricanes cleanups, I've had my shares. Is wherever you can find work. I can't work with the guy with the roof because I fell off the roof the other day. So right now I think that's another reason why I went hard with the Patreon. I really do need income. I really do need it. I don't want to ask for help. I'm 61 years old, and if my parents weren't alive, I would die also, because I'd end up homeless, and being homeless is really tough because when you're exposed to the elements, it's really hard on you, especially when you're domesticated. When you're domesticated, you're used to just being indoors, having air that's at a certain temperature. But when you're homeless, you have to find shade. You have to find a place where people will generally not disturb you, because you run the risk of You always have to carry a knife with you because you never. There's a lot of people. Usually, we're areas where they will not tell you, take you directly to jail. Well, usually, if you're homeless, going to jail is like a vacation. When you're homeless, jail and going to the hospital are vacations. You want to be in one of those two places. Because usually jails right now have calmed down pretty much. As long as you just keep to yourself and you don't affiliate with any type of gang, you'll be okay. Just mind your own business. I remember Mr. Giordano, whom I actually, on my next 11th upload, I may talk about his offspring because she's part of the testimony, because I have so much that I need to unload, and it's just I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for all of this. I mean, being a parent is a lot easier than actually having to deal with like what I went through today. I got yelled at because in one video I said I put the pan back on the heat because the way she did it wasn't according to the directions, and it's uncooked, and when poultry is uncooked, if it's not cooked properly, it contains salmonella. So I was saying that because I try to say things so that maybe people that view, almost about 95% of people know that, but maybe there's up to 5% of people that may not know that. So it's important to know that when you deal with poultry, you have to be very careful. The surfaces, when it's raw, and the utensils, you have to keep separate from all of the other foods that you're cooking. Like your vegetables, or any type of stuffing or bread or anything of that sort, rice, beans, anything. You have to keep the tubes separate, and then after the poultry is fully cooked, you can't use the same utensils that you used when it was raw. You have to either wash it in between or throw those in the sink and grab a new pair. That's how, it's serious. They teach you that when you go to cooking school. They also teach you about, proteins when they coagulate, and how like a burger, at what, like meat, at what process is cooking. I think they also tell you not to press down on like patties when you're making hamburgers, because that makes all the juices fall, and those juices is what gives the burger flavor. But people still push down on it because, I don't know, I guess they want to feel like they're doing something, but no, it's actually makes for it takes away from the taste. You want a nice juicy burger, and if it's a burger you're making for your own barbecue, you want it to be signature. So you want to make them at least 1/3 of a pound, because we live here in America. I'm sorry, no quarter pounds. Quarter pounds is for McDonald's, and McDonald's, that's a worldwide corporation. Okay, that's for there's nothing wrong with them, but when you're at home, that's where you're king. You are the king, and your queen lives with you. Okay, so you want 1/3 pounders. You definitely want some fat in them. Some people will be like, "Oh, I want lean meat." Yeah, you want lean meat, yeah, but not here. No, we want fat in our burgers. We need flavor. Okay, if you want to get something lean, get your ass over to Subway. Eat fresh. I remember the baddest backyard hamburgers. Alex Bettis, New Yorker, I think he was. Man, he was a good man. I worked with him. He was like, at that time, he was like 40 years my senior. So he was around my age right now. He was 60 something, right? And that man was like as far as endurance strength, like being strong enough to work the whole day, man, he whooped my ass. That old man whooped my ass. He had me holding up like fixtures as he was putting them on. So I was just really a helper. And my arms were getting tired. And he's like, it's pretty hard work, right? I'm like, yeah, man, I wasn't expecting this. He's like, man, don't worry about it. You get used to it. But I don't work with him. I never really worked with one employer for too long, except for the optical. But even that, it went through the different owners. The original owner, he was the owner of his corporation was called Emma Eyewear, EMA Eyewear, Emma Eyewear Incorporated. And they didn't really have a name for their establishment. They didn't do business as any particular name. It was just optical. His wife was a dietitian, Darlene, bless her soul. So a lot of times I think about Amy but they're Jewish. The Jewish people practice their faith. Be all right. It's just, taking a hit like that is bad for anybody. When you have to say you got a felony on your record, that you had to either like plead no contest. Well, I didn't know at the time. I should have taken it to trial. They literally did not have anything. They didn't have anything. They didn't have any evidence. There was nothing. I didn't do anything. I spoke to the victim, and he looked at me in the eyes. I was afraid he was going to hurt me. I thought he thought that I did something, and I was scared. And he saw that I was scared, and he's like, okay, you know what? And he believed me because it was true. I didn't know that he was the victim of a robbery. When he came and knocked on the door, I let him in. He was friends with the person who robbed him. I'm like, hey, come in, man. So-and-so just got some stuff from his mom. He told me he got it from his mom. And I believed him because they both happened to be Puerto Rican. And there was one of the things had a Puerto Rican flag. And then I was fooled into a scam. And that's why wrong place, wrong time. And then that's it, your life. But look, got it. I've been praying. Pray always, pray at all times. I went from only praying before I ate, which was a prayer of thanks, and to please bless, those bless others who made this meal possible, and bless the meal so that it might bless this body. Because remember, you guys, we're only here for a finite amount of time, and then we'll be gone. Life is not about us anymore. My sisters know that. Both of them are wise beyond their years. My heart goes out to Alexandra because, the shit she had to suffer because, of a shitty person. I'm a shitty person myself, so hopefully, there can be, the future will bring bounties of not just bounties of like food and shelter. And I don't even want to say car because cars disgust me. We're literally, that global warming is not going to be, guys, it's not going to be something that's our grandchildren is going to experience this. We are probably, how the population grew incrementally, like it took at like 100 years to get to 1 million, but then it only took like 50 to get to 2 million, and then it took like 20 to get to 3, and then like 10 to get to like 4, and then the time kept going down less. The same things I think is probably going to happen with global warming. there's an idea that one of my first doctors, when I started treatment, before I needed psychiatric help, when I was just purely doing well, I've always needed psychiatric help. I just never wanted to admit it. When I was just doing strictly the MAT program, he wrote a book and I read it, and it's an interesting fact. And if it is so, our atmosphere, the CO2 makes our atmosphere expand like a balloon. And when our atmosphere expands, we only have about like 17-20% of the air that we breathe is actual oxygen. And part of that oxygen is in the water, because it's just tied up as a molecule of two atoms it's two atoms of hydrogen. It's just one atom of oxygen. Sorry. Tritium is the when there's three atoms of hydrogen, and that's the one that's radioactive, I think. But yeah, according to his theory, the CO2 we keep emitting into the air is going to make our atmosphere expand. And then that we don't have just local weather, there's space weather. The sun, we've learned in the last couple hundred years about how the sun works, how it works like a convection oven, how it creates fusion, how it uses fusion to fuse hydrogen into helium, and then helium into carbon, and then I forget what else, but into heavier elements, until eventually it runs all out of hydrogen. And then our star won't explode. It's probably gonna just turn into like a brown dwarf, so it'll probably turn similar to the planet Saturn, but that won't happen for a long time. But our planet will probably be very similar to how Venus is right now, and that could happen in about 40 years. So that's if I make it to be 100, I could get to see the time when we essentially start losing our atmosphere, because like I said, there's solar weather. Sometimes the sun emits coronal, what are they called? CMAs. The corona of the sun is like the outside part of the sun, and it emits like bursts of energy. So it's like solar winds, coronal mass ejections, I believe it's called. And the only thing is that since the sun is a spherical, it bursts out at random parts of the atmosphere. Most of the time it doesn't hit any planets. We almost got a hit when the Mayan calendar ended in December of 2012. And if we would have just been in the same path that our Earth was taking during its rotation, but if we would have just been like 2 weeks back in that same path, we would have gotten a direct hit from a coronal mass ejection, if that's what it's called. I forget the name exactly. I just go by things I remember off the top of my head, and a lot of times I've only done one research paper in my life, guys. Research papers, I'm telling you right now, if you can publish them, even just for yourself, publish them. Make sure you do it properly. All your grammar's correct, spelling, the way you everything is in order. How you put the font on the papers and all that stuff. Citations is very important. How you cite your sources, you have to do it. There's a certain way to do it. It's very simple. Just go to your library, pick up a book about English literature, or there'll probably be a book, how to make a research paper, or there's probably a book how to properly cite sources, because you have to cite your sources properly to give your research papers credibility. But if you do research papers, you'll probably get a college education within, like, if you're consistent and you work hard like Mr. Beast, you'll probably get a college education in like 8 months, 12 months, you know, an undergrad. You'll probably, the way Mr. Beast works, if he worked that hard at school, he'd probably be a doctor in like 6, 7, 8 years instead of 10, 11, 12. It's usually, I think, around like 10 or 12, I forget. But anyways, you guys, I'm getting very tired. I didn't even speak any Spanish in this video. Si alguien está viendo que solo entiende español y solo está mirando para ver si digo algo en español, estoy cansado y me da lástima decir esto, pero realmente necesito el apoyo. No solamente financieramente, sí lo necesito, pero yo ya, como les dije, tengo 2 entrevistas. Una con una compañía que alquila carros. Yo sería el atendiente del lote, entonces yo soy como la persona que ellos ven primero y me hablan conmigo. Yo estoy detrás de un escritorio. Ellos si tienen una reservación, yo les pido el nombre y se supone que el carro ya debe estar listo. Depende cómo pagan, porque hoy en día puedes pagar con tarjeta, puedes pagar con tu teléfono, como en la China. En la China solo usan teléfonos. Ellos usan WeChat. Y eso es lo que quería empezar Elon Musk aquí con x.com. Pero él no pudo hacer eso porque él no tiene el poder aquí como el gobierno chino. La familia Rothschild, ellos son los dueños del Banco Federal. Entonces, el Banco Federal, acaba de aprender el otro día. Ahora, esto es de acuerdo con Dr. Dude. Es un canal en YouTube. Él dice que el Banco Federal le dieron ese nombre para que la gente crea que es una institución del gobierno federal, cuando en realidad las deudas que le debemos, o que ese banco supuestamente dice que le debemos al mundo, todas esas deudas son las riquezas de la familia Rothschild. Pero entonces, porque estoy súper cansado, lo único que puedo decirles es paz, amor, feliz noches. Hoy es viernes. Si tienen el fin de semana libre, no trabajan mañana ni el día pasado, si salen esta noche, por favor, ten cuidado. Si van a beber, es mejor que programen su Uber ahora mismo, porque yo creo que ahora el Uber lo puedes hacerlo hasta 3 meses avanzado. Programen que el Uber te recoja a la hora que tú ya crees que tú quieras irte. El único problema, si tú eres alcohólico, tú vas a querer tomar toda la noche, porque los alcohólicos normalmente siguen tomando y ya están tan acostumbrados a tomar que no se emborrachan, solamente tienen una bebida, es como agua para ellos, y ellos casi nunca salen. Los alcohólicos verdaderos, ellos normalmente se quedan en su hogar, no son muy sociales, ellos solo se quedan en su hogar y se beben sus 20 o 40 cervezas diarias, dependiendo con el alcohólico y el estado físico. Yo conocí uno que él trabajó por la Navy, que son los soldados que trabajan en el agua. Él fue uno de los soldados que puso los cables del internet que están debajo del agua, que van de aquí, pasan por el océano Atlántico, por la parte norte, y van hasta Londres. Y esos cables son lo que hacen la economía de hoy disponible para nosotros. Eso no existía durante la guerra de Waterloo, y por eso es que ahora hay una familia que son los dueños del mundo. Ellos son los dueños del Banco Federal, que ya les dije, no existen. Yo voy a poner la link en la descripción, porque ese video es bien interesante, y el video es más viejo que mi nena. Entonces, esto ya se ha sabido de hace rato. Esto es algo que me imagino que tú tienes que ir a la universidad para aprenderlo. Esto no te lo enseñan en las escuelas normales. Por eso es que una educación de universidad vale, porque tú aprendes cosas y no solo eso, pero si tú tienes la capacidad de pensar con el conocimiento y el razonamiento que ya existe, tú puedes hacer teorías y basadas en matemáticas y la ciencia que ya existe. Tú puedes hacer teorías como hizo los últimos dos científicos que fueron bien famosos. Fueron un alemán que se llama Albert Einstein y el otro creo que fue un inglés que se llama Stephen Hawking. Y Albert Einstein hizo varias teorías. Él hizo la teoría de la relatividad y la teoría de la relatividad especial. Y él también hizo otro papel sobre la física de cuanta, sobre como dos partes de un átomo pueden estar compartiendo contacto, aunque estén, no importa la distancia aparte, están los dos como cuando tú conectas tu teléfono con unos audífonos de Bluetooth, tienen una conexión. Okay, I'm gonna speak in English now because I want to finish it. What I said in Spanish, whatever, just look in the link, you'll see what I spoke about. And it's not worth talking about it because I've already mentioned it before in other videos. But yeah, guys, so the only thing I can say that has helped me so far, because my psych, I think because I've already taken a lot of pain medication, she does not want to up my medication for panic. So that's why I've been keeping diaries, so I can, but I don't want to keep diaries and then wait to keep getting panic attacks, because those things are horrible. So I started doing like holistic things. I started more prayer, and you know how the Muslims, they have a carpet that they pray on and they face towards, I think, either the sun. I've been doing it like similar, but more like Christian style, and it really makes a difference. So I've been doing that. I try to do it daily, at least before bed. If I can't before bed, I do it during the day. Make sure nobody can hear me, because I like praying out loud. The only thing I haven't started yet is meditation, but sometimes to try to be by myself, because to avoid the the episodes, I'll sit. There's a place where I can sit, and if I'm quiet enough, nobody will just even look for me there. But it's like pretty much living with a mental disorder, like the one I have. It's like you're it's almost like being on house arrest, because except I do have the privilege to go to the store if I want to go get groceries or get a soft drink. So I'm blessed to have that. I'm very, very blessed. So it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. I get to go to the grocery store. But besides that, I don't go out. I only go to take the baby to school, and I need to get a job. And I told mom this is very important, because if I don't have my license to take her to and from school the following year, I need to get a golf cart, so that we can make like the 20-30 minute drive on a golf cart there. I know there's a shortcut through CB Smith, but it depends if they have that gate open. I remember going to that years and years and years ago. I cut through CB Smith to get to Walter C. Young. Oh, Walter C. Young days. I remember the vice principal. She used to be a Miami Dolphins cheerleader, Mrs. Herrera. And yeah, I spent quite a bit of time in her office. I remember Officer Carmen. I was one of the first people that had a cell phone that he literally pulled out the battery, called in the serial number to see if it was stolen. You know, mom called the police because there's a law against children under 16 not going to school. So mom, as a concerned mother, she wanted, she didn't know what to do. So she called the school, and the school said, we'll send an officer, the school resource officer, over to go and talk to him. There was no talking. All he did was literally, he grabbed my arm, twisted it behind me, and yanked me off the bed. So as a human being, your natural reaction when somebody is trying to restrain you is, your flight or fight response goes off. It's natural. It's instinctual. Okay. So I have this person. I really didn't even know who it was in the beginning, grabbing me. So I'm like trying to pull away. And this is we were living in a townhouse, which I like those kind of communities because you get to know your neighbors and you interact with them more. So I think I was more well adjusted when I lived there actually. Now I love my neighbors. I know that they don't think that much about me, but I know they're all decent individuals. Even if they think bad of me, that's okay, because they're human just like me, and human beings, we all have thoughts, and we judge just like, because we're created in the image of our creator, and our creator is there to judge us, unfortunately. But we have to just ask for forgiveness, and it's only by the grace of that the creator gives us, our higher power, that then once we ask for forgiveness, can we, and we truly want it in our hearts, So I'll leave you guys with that. So think about that. Everyone out there, do as many good things as you want. Don't tell anybody about it. Donate all your money to charity without anybody knowing. Live with just your sandals in a book bag. It doesn't matter. The only way you get to heaven is by telling God that, please forgive me for my wrongdoings, and bless me so that your spirit flows through me, and just pretty much just give up your own free will. Your free will is a gift to you, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword. It's a curse, because free will equals foolish decisions, if that makes sense. Okay, so when you have free will, you want to experiment, which is okay, because like I said, that is a gift to our creator, because then our creator, through us, he gets to experience the pain and the suffering that it is to be human. So that's going to be the hard part. When my daughter makes foolish decisions, as much as I try to train her to be wise, I know she's going to make bad decisions. I know it. And like today, I was trying to I'm trying to incorporate the word as part of things that we learn after school, because learning doesn't stop after the 2 o'clock bell. Learning is something that goes on all day. And I know 98% of parents know that, but if there's just 2% of parents out there that might watch this video and don't know that, then when your kids come home, turn off the TV for 20-30 minutes, look at them in the eyes, and ask them, how was your day? How are you feeling? And then really listen to them. Look at them, listen to them, and then, talk to them about maybe anything, life experiences, the foolish decisions you made, and the consequences you suffered. If you would do it or not do it again, anything, it is creating the opening the line of communication. That's the beginning. Once the line is open and established, try your best to keep it like that, and remember that even the best of us sometimes make the worst of mistakes. And sometimes extra patience is needed. And when extra patience is needed, I look to my king, which is my dad. I know Messi is the king of the United States, but my dad is my king. So, all right, guys. Have a good night. Ciao. Peace and love.